Hello. Hello. Welcome,
Hello.
everyone. So we're going to start with a round of sharing about your natural experiences of healing without medicines. So if any of you have ever healed yourself, please share.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you for this question, Moon. Just wanted to share I always used to have a headache bouts, after every alternate days, and used to take Dolo Khali, Dispin Khali. So then in July, I attended a workshop in Lilac Farm, Bangalore. That was by Sharan, and where they discussed about raw food and how to go about it. And then of course I had a session with Moon also. So I think it is that journey which has helped me now. There's no headache unless and until there's some very lot of stress in the office, then it happens. But the wo har roz wala headache has finished. I think probably the food has made the difference. So that is my experience, a short period experience, because the workshop I attended in just July. So it's a short term, but I can see the difference.
Thank you so much for sharing. Spandana, do you have any experience to share?
Yes,
Can you,
I used to take.
can you please switch on your video? Yes.
Yes, 1 minute. Actually, I'm getting ready for office, so I switched off.
Yes.
I used to take, like, very occasionally. I take unless it is like very severe cold, cough. That time I used to take medicine. But for for small headaches and all, I just normally let it go like that.
Okay. Thank you. So welcome, everyone. So today we are going to hear an experience about healing without medicines and understanding whether fever is dangerous and what we have to do when we get very high fever. So I invite Sai Bapat, a health coach, a yoga teacher, and a well-being motivator, to share her experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Moon. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to thanks for the opportunity, Moon. I'm feeling so excited. Morning, I get to share my experience with all of you, all like-minded community here. So I'm going to share my experience almost 1.5 years ago, when during Corona time, of course. So I have 2 children. My son is 11 years old and my daughter is 16 now. I am exposed to this knowledge of nature cure, and I have some understanding of it and how we can heal naturally. But when it comes to my family, they have not attended any workshop as such. They just keep looking at me and they are just partially aware of all the principles. During that time, we decided not to go for the vaccinations for various reasons. And so at that time, my son got 104 fever one day. I had heard about all the experiences of my colleagues who were friends who were trying to cure fever naturally. But for me, with my children, that was the first experience when they got into such high fever of 104. But we decided to use the protocol that we had learned, like how to treat fever naturally. So first thing we did was, of course, we stopped the food because we were trying to give complete rest to the body. And complete rest starts with physical rest. So he was, of course, lying on the bed throughout because the fever was high. Then physiological rest, that means digestion shouldn't take a lot of energy when your body is trying to heal. And he was not hungry. Of course, when we get fever, if we listen to the body, there is no hunger. So there was no food given to him, only sip by sip he was sipping on plain water. And then psychological rest means there was no panic as such. We were not very worried in front of him. At least we were maintaining very calm faces. Ki it is going to go away. And along with that, we use some simple water therapies to bring down the fever naturally as much as possible. So when it reached beyond 102, I started keeping the wet pack on the forehead, just simple room temperature water, rinse it, wet pack on the forehead, wet pack on the around the neck, and wet pack on the abdomen for 20 minutes. And then again a gap of half an hour, and again if fever was going up, I used to keep the wet pack. So wet packs continued for almost 24 hours. It took for the fever slowly started coming down. And after 36 hours of this wet pack and then taking rest, he started feeling some hunger. So he was okay to drink something other than water. So I gave him tender coconut water. I started with tender coconut water, and also a lot of subtle food. Like, we used to sit on the terrace taking sunbathing twice a day. I taught him simple, not pranayam, not nadi shuddhi or any complicated pranayam, but just focusing on the breath, chanting which was working on his lungs. And within 36 hours, the fever was gone. I mean, there was no sign of any weakness after 36 hours, and he was perfectly fine. His hunger had come back, so we started with fruits. And after 48 hours, that is after 2 days, he was just back to his normal activity. Now, this happened at the end of 48 hours. My daughter got into same episode of 104 fever. But by this time, we were very confident of handling it. So again, the same protocol we did. No food, only on water, lying down on the bed. She was listening to some music which she was liking. Of course, we also did something called as Tona. You have taught them about Tona? Okay. So one more therapy which we use, which helps in detoxifying the body faster, and also it brings down the temperature. So that was administered twice. And then it was my husband's turn. He had never done something like this before, like handle fever without medicine. But by that time, he was also seeing how our kids recovered. So he went through the same protocol. So just to tell you, my mother-in-law stays with us, and she was on the ground floor, and she takes care of the kitchen. And generally when somebody is not well, her instinct is to feed, to feed people, at least have some khichdi, at least have some juice, some soup. So during this fever episode, we were on the first floor, and one by one, we were going up and recovering and coming down. So she was also very surprised, ki what's happening? You all are not eating. There are only tender coconuts in the house. So after my husband, it was my turn. And I went through the same healing process, not more than 36 hours for any of us to get back to normal. And it was as if nothing happened. So all this took 8 days for us to come out of this episode of high fever. And it was, we can call it as corona or whatever. We didn't do the test immediately, but later after 3 months when we did the test, we found out that yes, there were antibodies, and we all had gone through the episode of corona at that time. And why we felt motivated to stick to this was because we were not taking help of the normal allopathy or whatever vaccines and antibiotics and so many other medicines they used to give. I stay in a community of 200 houses, and almost everybody, each house at the time, it was spreading really fast. So every house was going through it. And there was a standard protocol of 5 days of antibiotics, then a lot of vitamins and some other doses. And people, they were still coughing and a lot of weakness. Even after going through the medicine, a lot of symptoms were observed afterwards also for a month or so. But in our case, we could see that within 8 days it was over, and we were back to our regular routine. So yeah, that was one healing experience which taught us so many things about our body and how the natural elements help us heal. And we really have to learn to do nothing. Do nothing means not to, take any medicine and try to suppress the symptoms. So yeah, that was my experience. And after that, it's very smooth. It's very easy to, the trust has gone up. The belief, all the family members have started believing in this, including my mother-in-law. She always used to take some or the other Ayurvedic medicine. But after that, now even she fasts and she stays away from food. So yeah, it was a very powerful experience for us as a family to go through it. And it took out a lot of fear from the head, because at that time fear was the major factor which was affecting more than the actual virus or whatever we want to call. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. If you have any questions, if you want to ask anything, you can ask.
Yeah.
Like I'm in right now. It's okay.
Go ahead, Sapna. Supreet, you can ask.
Someone was sharing, so I thought maybe Supreet can share.
You
Supreet,
can.
go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Supreet, go ahead.
Thank you. Moon, I want to just ask, like right now I'm having lower back pain. So what should I do? I should take rest and stop eating food. I mean to say ki I should go on fruits, and what should you recommend?
Yeah. So, Supreet, is it a very severe back pain? Like, what is the intensity and what is the trigger? Like, why? Any idea why it is happening? Wrong posture or standing
I
for?
started, I started doing Zumba. So after that, I can't do a lot of low bending exercises, na. I did it and then I got the same back pain. It is not so severe, but still there is a pain.
Yeah, what I feel Moon can add to it later. So, because this has happened due to maybe exertion to your back, you are not used to doing Zumba, and now that's why. So, I don't think fasting immediately is needed. What you need is rest to your back and maybe wet pack in that area where there is a pain right now.
That I'm doing.
Okay,
That,
it's
that
helping you.
well,
Wet
I'm
pack?
doing.
Is it bringing the
It
pain?
helps me, but little bit down, but still there is a pain.
Okay, because I teach yoga also, and when you do something like this, which your body is not ready to take up that much movement, and when you get into it, we just give complete rest.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
And maybe sunbathing
Okay,
also.
that's okay.
And sunbathing, yeah.
I
think
did it. Okay.
you had some injury few years ago, right? So maybe that healing had
Yes,
not
yes,
happened
yes.
because you took medicine
Aritis.
for that healing. So it got suppressed
Yes,
at that
yes,
time.
correct.
The body is not fully healed. So when you exert without warm up, without very quickly, maybe it shows. But if you heal naturally,
Yes,
the ailment won't come back. And rest at the moment, as I said. Sunbathing,
Resting.
and
rest
rest.
mentally,
Thank
digestive,
you.
physical, 3 types rest.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Sapna, go ahead with your question.
Yeah. I think my background, Moon knows all because I've shared my background with her, and
Should
my
I
back pain is
share my
sorry.
experience regarding healing?
Yes, Apna, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably I'll share my thing later, but because you have been, coaching Sunaina also, because tomorrow I have to go for a test. So that is why I'm asking this question, because as you know, she has a lot of hormonal imbalance. I think probably, I don't know whether she shared with you or not. And that is, and she has a PCOD.
Sapna, I think right now we will stick to
Yeah.
SOS and first aid and natural healing with of fever. And the personal, like, because your daughter is already taking a coaching session, it's also confidentiality. Sai doesn't want to discuss that right now.
Yeah. Nee, I just want to know because I have to go for test tomorrow. Ki should I go or not? That is my question. So that was the only thing.
Actually, Sapna, I haven't got time discuss this with Sunaina, so I don't know exact details of which test and why. We haven't had this discussion till now.
Okay.
That's why I don't have enough information to tell you whether to go for it or not. So maybe I'll take it later personally. I'll check with her.
ठीक
Huh?
ठीक
And
ठीक. Okay, thank you.
Any more questions around fever, Arshdeep, Anshu? Fever and kids, 104-degree fever. Any questions, fears?
So I don't have a question about fever, but as you know, there was a time when I had a thorn in my foot while we were walking. Since we are talking about SOS and natural therapies, when you connect with nature, all such things also happen. And what one should do at that time? Because I remember when that happened, I was like, what should I do now? Because the barefooting practice also stopped for some time, and I was not sure how to go about it. So if something like that happens or something similar on something similar lines, how should we go about it?
you want to?
I'll share the first aid kit that I carry all the time that you can make now. Abhi, you also please do share all your questions. Today is an amazing time that both of us are together. And the first aid kit, this is completely natural first aid kit. And we always had like haldi, turmeric. We can carry this and we can mix it with water or little bit of oil also, I think coconut oil, and we can put it on the, after removing the thorn.
Yeah.
So in my first aid kit, I also carry a size also looking at my kit because tweezers are very important role to remove tweezers, as well as Anshu, needle can be nice when you heat the needle and just poke the thorn out. Body will push it out anyway, but if we keep walking on it, it'll go deeper. It's better on the foot, especially, to remove the thorn. And the second thing that I have in my first aid kit, because I started showing the first aid kit, is honey. Have you ever put honey on any injury? No. Or when you have sore throat, have you ever had ginger juice and honey? It's a tried and tested. So this is first aid kit is not only for injuries, it's also SOS for any ailment, right? What else can we use honey for? Slight burn or...
Yeah, actually, I haven't used honey.
Honey can also be used as a disinfectant.
Okay.
Although ants will come later on, but initially honey is antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial. So something like an injury, you can put honey immediately. If you don't have haldi, you don't have water, the best thing for any injury. So I want to show this is muslin cloth, malmal da kapra. So what you do is you carry few of these in your first aid kit, because whenever you have any injury, you make it wet and you put it around the, especially cuts. They heal very quickly with the wet pack. This is the wet pack that she put on her son's
For all of
forehead.
us, like during fever, this you can put on the forehead or around the abdomen, and a slightly broader one around the abdomen.
So the wet pack works for cuts, fevers, for bloating, acidity, gas. So this is one of the therapies in natural healing, which is called wet pack. And you can put it all around the stomach if you have any kind of burning sensation, fever. In fever, last few months ago, I got fever first time after 11 years.
Wow.
And we congratulate each other.
We celebrate fever.
We celebrate fever as it is the only time that body goes into
Detox mode speedily.
and you have years of garbage coming out, years of toxins coming out, mucus coming out and being removed. But if you have low vital force, pran shakti, like me, it took me that long of being on sattvic diet, sattvic lifestyle for my body to build up the reserves to go into fever and healing. But when it came, it was so painful. I thought, let me take some medicine.
Yeah, I know.
And my mother and my one friend, they held the door for me, the door guard. They said, you believe in natural healing. You know healing is happening. Why you want to stop the healing? Like, that's how they were talking to me. So you need people like that, Arshdeep. And what happened in this fever is the pain was a lot, Anshu. When the pain is a lot, you need pain relief because pressure is there high. Why is pressure high? Because heat is high. Why is heat high? Because body is working aggressively to remove toxins, or all the body parts are working higher than their normal functioning. So if you work very hard, you run very hard, you heat up. And when you heat up, the pressure builds up. Pressure builds up, we feel the sensation of pain. So to relieve, we need to release the heat. And how do we release the heat? With wet pack. So this is one of the biggest tools. What I did when I had the pain around my abdomen, I put the wet pack again and again. Every 10 minutes, it was burning hot for 3 hours around my stomach and my head, not so much stomach. So this is the third thing in the first aid kit. The fourth thing that I want to share with you, I'm like, which one I'll share first, is anybody recognizes this? Abhi, Anshu, Arshdeep, Supreme?
Fitkari.
Yes. Alum. Has
Alum.
anyone used alum in SOS?
Yes.
Every time.
How? Where?
When I used to shave or for all the cuts anyway, so it's pretty good. It stops the blood flow and it doesn't hurt afterwards.
I used when Neha was hurt. She fall down. I put it in warm water and did like a warm fermentation on her with that.
So one more way you can use is for toothache. If you have toothache, you can put alum water, fitkari in water and gargle with it and your toothache will go. And what next you can use for toothache is cloves. So I have some cloves also in my kit, and you can boil the water and do gargling with it. And alum, how else we can use is for hemorrhoids. It's very good for put it in hot water and you sit in it.
Okay.
And this is an ancient remedy, especially North India. And it heals very quickly. The quality of alum is to, I guess, dry, right? And so it releases the pain. Another thing that I have in my kit is this poultice, and this is made up of many herbs like neem and moringa and baheda, like lots of herbs that help in pain release. This you can get online. I got it online. It's an Ayurvedic poultice. And this you can put in on a hot pan,
Yeah, hot tawa.
and then put it on the body. And so this is another natural healing remedy. And
Can this be put in even microwave also, no?
no, not a good idea. Microwave is,
Radiation we avoid.
we avoid
As it
radiation. And this is mint, dried mint. It's really tried and tested from my nani, my grandmother. Whenever you have any acidity, gastric, so you boil some mint
Okay.
along with cumin, coriander seeds, black pepper. But to carry it along is a good idea when you have any. This is an eye cup. So in case you have this, you can easily get from, I think, the chemist. If you have anything in the eye, you can use this for that. Essential oil for pain relief. You can put it in the regular oil and use it for pain relief, for massage. Thermometer, that is something that you can carry. And some kind of herbal oil for pain relief you can carry. So this I have is from, it's called Oro Balm. It's from Aurobindo Ashram, Delhi. It has camphor, eucalyptus. So that's really helpful. And yes, I am over with my, some kind of Band-Aid. That's all. Yeah, some floss for emergency. So that was my herbal kit, first aid kit, and the first aid therapies that we spoke about. And if you have any questions, and we can take them.
Moon, also we get this, that tiger balm, no? Which is a Ayurvedic balm.
Tiger balm.
Have you used it?
No.
See, tiger balm is there, but I don't know fully the ingredients because it's made in China. Just check the ingredients. If there's no chemical in it, then it's good to go.
Because that is always in my, kit. Any suppose headache or some, there's a pain, it really helps. So I'll just check the ingredients. Thank you.
One more thing I forgot to add. Also, you add if you use any SOS therapies. One thing for the mouth is Triphala and hot water, cold water, alternative gargling for the mouth. I have recently come out of a major, naturally, I'm trying to heal one of my cavities instead of going for root canal treatment, because I found out that root canal has really, you're leaving a dead part in the body.
Yeah.
So I wanted to avoid that. Because of that, I am naturally healing my dental cavity. So I'm really into dental SOS remedies, and it works like crazy if you go on raw, especially juicing.
Okay.
The pain left in one day.
Is it?
Yeah.
And you are exposing that to sun rays.
Yes, you expose the mouth to sun.
Yeah.
So these are long term, but immediately alum helped me.
Okay.
And being on raw helped me. Alum water.
Okay.
And being on raw.
Durva grass you tried?
Durva grass, yes.
That also, if you chew or just.
Yes, I didn't
juice.
try it recently, but I've
Okay.
heard about it. So Durva grass is Bermuda grass. That is another very good remedy if you chew on it.
Yeah.
Also guava leaves, if you chew on them. These are some remedies that we have learned from our guru, Dr. Arun Sharma, and from one of my gurus, Dr. Vijay Venkat. And SOS, anything else, when we fall down, it's nice to put a wet pack or a cooler pack on the body to prevent, basically to aid the circulation. So in sports injuries, actually size here, for a sports tournament, swimming.
Masters Nationals swimming.
Yes.
Is happening here.
In Ambala, and that's how we are able to do this session together. And so she's a sports athlete, so she needs to do SOS for injuries. And also, what do you use for your, because now you're in the natural health circle?
Yeah, I don't know if it fits, but if I get any kind of like stress also, no? Like I have to
Yeah.
swim.
Yeah.
So I immediately do pranayam or focusing on my breath and just calming down first before panicking. Any injuries or anything, I think breath awareness also puts us in that mind frame to start thinking about natural healing. No? Otherwise, people sometimes they give a lot of suggestions. You do this, you do that. So just to connect with ourselves, and that is so pranayam. I don't know whether it is
Yeah,
SOS,
in
but
fever also I did pranayam.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I forgot to. Yeah.
Yes, in fever also pranayam, and even in high pain pranayam.
Yes.
It's counter, like you think, how can you relax? And but that's why I always say don't learn swimming when there's a storm in the sea. Practice swimming in calm waters so we can swim when there's a storm. So let's keep doing pranayam right now also when we don't have a emergency. Go ahead, Abhi, you have a question.
How about natural health principles in menstrual cycle time, moon and sun?
Yeah, so if you have cramps or pain, that's when you are asking, like you are experiencing a lot of discomfort during your.
No, I don't feel pain and cramps. But after started the sustainable lifestyle, I felt very discomfort with using sanitary napkins. Before that, I didn't feel any differences. But after that, the completion of bleeding, after the completion of bleeding, for a week, I feel a itching, I feel a discomfort.
Yeah. So clothes napkins, have you tried? Anytime there is disturbance from her side only. Okay. Yeah. How about
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, and there are many disturbances from my side also because of kids.
have you tried cloth napkins? Like cloth napkins during yeah. Yeah. So I am asking, instead of using the synthetic napkins, have you tried the cloth ones anytime? Because that's a good alternative. Otherwise, even the cup, nowadays we get the cup, that is also a very sustainable option.
Yeah, I tried with menstrual cup, but I felt that often it comes out of that position. So I skipped using them. I don't know whether I didn't use it properly or not. Whether cloth napkins are preferable.
Okay. Okay. So it needs some learning curve. Okay. But as I'm using very, very to after cups, but sorry, can you hear?
Yeah,
So
now
I was telling give it a yeah, yeah. Okay, there was some connection in between. So I don't give
Sai, you are still not clear.
very. Okay. better? Hello, can you hear?
Sai, no, it's
Hi.
not.
No, you can't hear.
The voice is breaking.
Switch off the video and try. Okay. Yeah. Is it better now? We have switched off the
It's
video.
better
Is
now.
it better?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
better? Okay. So Abhi, yeah, thank you. So two
Hi.
things
Hi,
we
Moon.
try guys.
Yeah, still voice is breaking. I couldn't hear.
Same here.
Okay. Can you hear
Yeah,
me now?
now it's okay. Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay. So let me just revise what I am telling. You first try again, okay? Maybe you help of them from wherever you have bought, they help you understand it. And otherwise, the second option is switching to the cotton cloth pads. Okay, that also you can try. Washable, reusable, sustainable cotton pads, so they won't give any rash or itching or anything. So maybe you can try that also.
Can you hear us now?
Hi. Moon, now it is okay, but after the video, after switch on the video, I'm unable to hear anything. Moon, able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear Moon.
Okay. Uh,
Sai and Moon.
Can you see us?
What are all the other practices I can get to stay away from? Hi, am I making sense? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, Moon, are you there still?
Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we can hear.
Sorry. Yeah, please ask your question. Sorry, our connection got disconnected. Was weak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is in chat mode. Do I repeat or
menstrual cycle, how to have better menstrual cycle health, right? That's your question.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So have you, there is this routine, Moon, where we do this L shape, Okay, there is something called as Viparita Karani Kriya. It's a yoga routine. It takes 5 to 7 minutes. If you do that routine, and you can do it during the cycle also, there is a way to do it. And when you don't have your menstrual cycle on the other days, if you practice it every day for 5 to 7 minutes, then your menstrual cycle will be very smooth. Okay, so there is this particular yoga therapy routine, especially for the health of reproductive organs, where we lift it is like a kind of inversion, but with the support. So maybe Moon will teach you later that routine, but including that in your daily exercise or whatever will help the menstrual cycle to be more natural, regular, and pain-free and comfortable. Other than that, anything else you feel?
Being more on a high raw,
Yeah.
high active, very active, walking at least 8 to 10 kilometers every day, having a meditation practice, being more connected to community is, something that has helped me. Doing work that really is fulfilling has really helped me, because I used to really struggle in menstrual cramps, but last 10 years, and also when we have any emotional disturbance, like with a relationship, with a connection, 2 weeks before the menstrual cycle, then suddenly the menstrual cycle, the cramps, because contraction upon contraction, it goes haywire. So if you have relaxed mind, within the 2 weeks before the cycle, I feel those cramps aren't there. So many things help. So just keep adding the inputs.
Okay, Moon. Okay,
So
Sai.
my question is to Sai, because Sai, as you shared, you have come for a swimming event and you are a sports person. Um, I also do kind of cycling and yoga also. But I'm really worried after worried not worried is the not right word, because there's a doubt that after shifting to plant-based diet, I've stopped eggs and chicken and everything. So worried about the protein intake. So can you share something on this?
Yes, sure, Sapna. So just to start with, if you see the strongest and the biggest animals, elephant, horse, all of them eat only grass. They are herbivores, right? And they don't worry about their protein and how to build the muscles. So that is just one example. But to give you with my own experience, it's been 9 years now. I have shifted to this diet. So my general food pattern is fruit meal, one veggie meal, and one conservatively cooked meal. And I have stopped counting on the protein, the micros and macros long back. And how it has helped me is, see, 10 years back, the time I used to clock in my swimming tournaments, even after 10 years, I'm able to clock the same time. Uh, I mean, when I was younger, I was more fit. That's what I used to think. But it's not that. After I shifted to this way of eating, the natural way of eating, my body is not spending a lot of energy on digesting difficult food. I also used to eat eggs. I also used to drink 3 glasses of milk, but my body used to spend a lot of energy in digesting that. Now, whereas whatever I eat, it's getting digested within 3 to 4 hours. So I get lot of excess energy to swim fast, and it is a smart way to eat, I think, if you are a sportsman. And if there are so many world top class athletes. Novak Djokovic, if you know, the tennis player, number one tennis player, Venus Williams, so many other, Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I have a list of athletes who have turned plant-based to improve their performance. because they want to be number one. They switch from animal protein to plant protein. I mean, plant-based diet. So it's a complete myth that we get protein only from animal products and it is of higher quality. That is a myth. Basically, if you eat on only plants, then you get lot of free energy which you can channelize into whatever you want to do, swim fast or do cycling or go for more distances. And generally this is observed when people switch from animal products to plant-based diet, their energy goes up,
Yeah.
their stamina goes up, their endurance goes up. So you don't have to worry about your protein. You don't have to count. This counting and all is just to, to be able to sell those animal products more. They have come up with these calculations, 1.5 grams per kg, all that. We don't need, yeah, it is all marketing. And
Also, when you say plant-based, so that means we have to be particular which plant we have eaten so that वो proper protein chala gaya or something like that. Could I,
Everyone listening, everything has everything in it. So whole food, plant-based lifestyle means not
signal chala gaya, Moon, can't hear you.
food from earth. It's the what is also breathing. Can you hear now?
हाँ अब ठीक है. Sorry, Moon, repeat please.
Yeah, so I was saying that it is not just the food that heals us or gives us nutrition, is not only the earth food, which is what you're asking, the protein, the fat, the carbohydrate. I'm saying the food that we get, natural nutrition, means that you are taking the food which is more powerful than earth food, before earth food, which is leaving a gap in the morning before we are eating till we get the hunger, which is space element, Akash Tattva, and taking the food of sun and taking the food of air with the right kind of pranayam and breath awareness, taking the right water quantity by understanding that the water that is breathing needs to not be covered with a lid, but should have a cloth cover on it. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
And connecting to your own inner prana, which is through deep, mind body alignment with nature. This is the four elements that come before earth food and which are more powerful than earth food. So
I
earth
couldn't
food,
bottle covering with linen wala thing.
yeah, so leave the, just like ponds and wells, the water should be left without a opaque cover. You can give a cloth cover, muslin cloth cover, or a jali net, but just how pools and ponds and natural water sources don't have a covering on it, wells, lakes, rivers, and that water that is in the higher mountains is more rich and pure than the water we are getting after covering, putting it in a container, and it starts smelling stale also. So just notice that.
Okay.
And so the element of earth comes the last. Just as we problem for any pain, menstrual always fasted. They never ate anything when the period came. Or and the same happens in the animal kingdom. The animals stop eating when they are injured or when they have any the 5 elements. Yeah, you can hear me?
अभी भी अब now बीच में तो नहीं था.
Yeah, are there any questions? Any more questions? We are just running out of time.
Moon, last में just also share on the bone health of the bones, joints, because Punjabi ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦ ਘਿਓ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਇਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ how will their joints work?
Right. So the strongest and the largest animal on earth is the elephant. And the elephant is completely herbivorous. Is not eating any ghee. So it is just a myth that we, with our strength, through acidity, through having diet and thoughts and not taking enough rest, thoughts create acidity. Body is acidic by function and alkaline by design. So everything creates acid, but if we rest, that acid gets neutralized. If we don't, the body has to release calcium, which is an alkalining mineral, to balance the acidity in the body. And then the more acidic foods we eat, grains are the most acidic foods, animal foods, milk, ghee, butter, paneer are very, very acidic. Eggs, they need the acid in the body, and non-veg food is very acidic, the animal protein. So body needs to release alkaline minerals to digest that, which creates, over a long period of time, many years, it creates a imbalance in the body, because the bones are giving the calcium because they are a storehouse, but we are not, with our nutrition, with our food and with our exercise, we are not replenishing these reserves. They are not going back at the same degree as they are being used. So please switch to whole food, plant-based lifestyle, nature connected, the earth food, and you will see the difference. Today's session. Bye. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
எங்க போயிருக்காங்க
Thank you.